Hi there, my name is Tracy from Randomness of Rudy, and today we are talking about Taurus and Aries in a relationship. This is actually a part of my YouTube series on the Taurus experience, where I look at Taurus and relationships with each member of the zodiac. And so if you haven't seen my first video where I talk about Taurus and relationships in general, please go back and check that out. You know, Taurus with Aries is a very interesting match. Interesting for a couple of reasons. Number one, I see this pairing more often than not, which is always a surprise for me. And number two, this is a match that can actually go the test of time, stand the test of time, which is pretty impressive considering both signs are very different. Taurus is an earth energy that really prefers life to move at a steady pace in a way that is slow and predictable, to be quite honest, whereas Aries is this fire sign full of energy that is always on the go. Now, if you take a look at my first video where I talk about Taurus and relationships in general, you know, one of the things that I said is that Taurus, you know, really tends to be attracted to these fiery types of people, whether it's a fire sign or someone who's just very fiery in nature. And the reason why is because, you know, Taurus likes that complementing energy. Without that fiery energy, Taurus would become way too content in life and really wouldn't, you know, venture off, try new things, step outside of his or her box and experience, you know, life to its fullest. And so I think that's why Taurus, you know, consciously or not, tends to be attracted to these fiery individuals. And that's fine as long as there's this complementing energy between these two signs. But when there isn't a complementing energy, Taurus will eventually feel resentful and unloved and unappreciated, especially if Aries can't stop long enough to give Taurus the attention that he or she needs, and do so through a home-cooked meal or a night in cuddling and watching a documentary film, or, you know, having a glass of wine out on the patio and enjoying life and kind of slowing life down. Taurus needs that in a relationship. Taurus needs that in a partner. And Aries sometimes forgets this. And so this is something to be mindful of, especially with regards to your differing natures, your differing cores, okay? As far as sexual compatibility, Taurus is a highly sexed energy, Aries is a highly sexed energy. Together, you will definitely be sexually compatible in the sense that you both enjoy lovemaking. But your styles are different, and so this is something, again, to be mindful of. Aries is very passionate, and this isn't to say that Taurus isn't. But Aries is very passionate and really gets worked up, especially when it comes to the act of sexual energy and foreplay and intercourse. And Taurus is steadier in his or her approach. Taurus likes to kind of enjoy the sensory part of sex, and that means the smell of someone, the feel of someone. And so these are things to keep in mind as far as, you know, the sexual relationship between Taurus and Aries. If you're able to kind of reach a happy medium, the sex between these two signs can be quite legendary. And so that's not such a bad element to this relationship whatsoever. As far as disagreements between you, this is another area that both signs will need to be mindful of. You know, Aries likes to fight and argue and really kind of gets over things just as quickly. Whereas Taurus doesn't want to be bothered with it. Taurus is peace-loving. Taurus needs harmony. Taurus does not want to have to deal with any kind of confrontation. And this is something that will probably make Aries all the more upset because Aries needs reaction, and a fiery reaction at that. And Taurus won't give it to him or her. And if Taurus is forced and pushed to do something, I'm pretty sure that Aries is not going to want to be around to see it, because Taurus has quite the temper as well, but it takes a while for Taurus to get to that point of actually expressing any kind of anger or distress, all right? So keep this in mind when it comes to your disagreements. Aries is going to have to learn to be a bit more mature, to be quite honest, when it comes to expressing his or her upset, and Taurus is going to have to learn how to communicate in a way that gives Aries this sense of satisfaction that everything that was wrong has been addressed and now we can move on, okay? outside of these things, like I said, it's a relationship, it's a pair that I've seen come together and last longer than most zodiac pairings. And so this is definitely a relationship that can go a long way, especially with Taurus being this committed energy anyway. So if you want more information, feel free to visit randomnessofrudy.com. And until next time, good luck